friend, this is Dharanz. Welcome back to my channel once again, Code with Dharanz. In this video, we're gonna see the basic HTML contents and Bootstrap. HTML, as everybody know, it's a basic language and easy to learn too. But we're gonna use lots and lots of HTML codes in our MVC application. So I wanted to make this video a little bit quicker. So let's get started with HTML and CSS, and I'm gonna cover Bootstrap too. Bootstrap is not a language; it's a framework developed by Twitter to design our application elegantly. So I'm gonna cover that too. Please see the video until the end. Okay, what is HTML? As everybody know, this is hypertext markup language. It uses the tag. The tag instance, the predefined labels, predefined words are within the less than greater than symbol. That's called a tags. Browsers will use these tags to render content into the web page. Now if you want to create HTML file, just simply go HTML. You have to provide a name. HTML files will have an extension of .html and CSS file will have an extension of .css. I'm gonna provide a name, test.html. It has been created successfully. Then all the HTML has a structure, a predefined structure. You have to provide all your contents, all your code inside the structure. What is that? First, HTML. This is a root element of HTML page. This is what I'm talking about. This is HTML. This is predefined word that we are given inside the less than greater than symbol. This is an opening tag, this is an ending tag. Each and every opening tag should be ended, then only your code has a complete structure, otherwise your code won't be work. Then this is head tag. Head tag is nothing but it has all the metadata infos. Then under the head we have body tag, visible page content, simply body tag. Body, what are the contents that you are providing inside the body? The only content will be visible in the browser. Inside the head, normally we will have a title tag. Title tag, I want to provide a name of title, test app. Okay, this is a basic structure. This is a normal HTML code. I want to make this as a latest version, HTML5. How can we make this as a latest version? To provide doc type HTML. It isn't case sensitive, so no problem with that. When you provide doc type HTML, it defines this document as under HTML5. And I forgot to say, I am just using Visual Studio Code. I am using Visual Studio 2017. Visual Studio Code is a text editor, not an IDE. It's a lightweighted, great performance for develop these kind of single page applications without having server-side languages. Then I want to run this application. To run this application, we have to go to the folder and run it in the browser. See, we have a blank page. When you inspect this, we can find what are the things that you have provided in HTML. This is HTML. Inside HTML we have title. Title will be shown here, the page title in the tab bar. This is the body. Inside the body we don't have anything. And inside the body, I want to provide my name. When you provide my name, go and refresh it. See, you can see my name, but this is a raw letter content. You shouldn't provide any data, any codes without a tag. So for this, we have to provide a tag. For that, I can't explain all the tags, all the elements, all the attributes in this video. So make sure that you're going and surfing HTML5 tutorial in W3 schools. In W3 school they have explained about HTML5, what are the features, what you have to do in HTML, what you can do, what you have to do to develop HTML applications. They have given all the valid informations. Just go and check it out. You can use the same method to know about CSS too. And if we provide a simple word, we can use heading tag. This is how the heading tag works. Inside the heading tag, I am just providing hello world. Underneath the heading tag, I want to provide a paragraph tag. It will say hi. Then go and refresh it. We have our HTML content here. If you say body, you have HTML tag and paragraph tag here. Each and every element will have a specific position. It places a specific value in the browser's page. Then this is a simple structure of DOM elements. DOM elements is nothing but JSS contains page data to see what the element exactly does. This is called a DOM element. Each and everything, the HTML head, what all the data that you are providing inside the tag, that all are DOM elements. Then attributes. Attributes, it's nothing but the additional information about the element. Just guess, if you have more than one h1 and more than one paragraph, if you want to target a single paragraph, this, how can you do when you're using JavaScript? To do that, they have announced attribute. Attributes is nothing but additional information about the elements. The attribute is simply, we have a certain attributes like ID. I can give head text and name, head text 2. Here I can provide ID. I want to use this as a class paratext. These are all basic and simple attributes. We have more and more attributes: disable, read only, style, and even handlers too, on click, on focus, on blur. Each and every attribute will have the specific features, the specific functionalities to know about the element. Then if you go with attributes, nothing will change in a content. See, attribute stays same. Then input types in HTML. Input types is nothing but the form elements, text boxes, drop down lists, check boxes, radio buttons. These are all the input types. If you want to know about the input types, that is also available in HTML. W3 schools, go input types. These are all data. These are all types of input types are available in HTML. Button, checkbox, color, date, datetime, local. You can see the live demo of that elements too. Then we're gonna move to CSS. CSS, what is CSS? It's used to format our HTML element, used to design our page. That's it. CSS has three types. One is inline, next one is internal, next one is external. This is the final one. Inline is nothing but you are providing a CSS code inside the DOM element itself with the attribute of style. Inside the style, I want to change this hello world color. What I have to do, just go and type it. What I have to change, color, and which color that you want to change. Blue, just select it. And I want to change the font size of this paragraph. The same style, provide font size is 12 EM. It's quite awkward, but it's okay for an example. See, color has been changed, font size has been changed. This is the way the CSS in inline CSS works. Then next one is internal CSS. When we are going in internal CSS, inline CSS, it quietly harmful for your DOM element. It renders slowly in a browser. It takes some time to load in a browser. It reduces your application performance because this inline CSS, the compiler will read each and every DOM element, each and every attribute. It will reduce your productivity as well as reduce your application performance too. When you have more than one h1 tag, more than 1000 h1 tag, if you want to change a particular h1 tag color, when you give one inline CSS, you can't do that easily. You have to go find it. Instead of it, we can go to internal CSS. What does it mean, internal CSS? We are providing CSS contents the page itself with a style tag. All the inline CSS has to be written inside the head tag. The compiler will read the head tag first, so all the CSS content should be inside this head tag. So how can we identify the DOM element? We have ID, we have name, we have element, we have a classes too. If I wanna target this h1 tag, I didn't provide any classes. When you go with a JavaScript, you have to identify the element with the ID most probably. When you go with a CSS, you have to identify with the class. That's an efficient and epic way. If I wanna change the toggle color, if you wanna use ID, just put ash, then the name of the ID, open tag, close tag. Here you can change the color to red. Okay, then I wanna change this paragraph's font size. How can you do? Just go. This is a class, not an ID, so class denotes with dot paratext. This is a class name. Font size is well, just make it simple, 7 EM. When you load this, see, the format still applies. We have a standard method of applying CSS. Now you can have a question. When I give the same ID in this DOM element, the browser will provide a warning that ID is unique. Each and every DOM element will have only one unique ID in the whole application. If there is a real-time applications too, in a page there is only one ID will have a name of head text. That should be. But class, I can provide this same class here. Now see the magic. See, the same thing happens too. First we have provided for ID, it reads ID first, color red, next this h1, then this paratext we have changed the color font size. See, this is a way that inline CSS works. External CSS, what does it mean by external CSS? Nothing but instead of providing the style element inside the same page, we are using an individual .css extension file and reference it to the HTML file. How to do that? That's too simple. Just do simply test.css. This is a CSS file. Just copy this whole code. Save it. Just delete it and go and run it. What happened? The style didn't apply. I purposely done this because we didn't link yet between the two files. HTML not linked with CSS. How does it know? I am not providing the same name for HTML CSS, which will not be work. Instead of it, we should provide a link reference in to the CSS file from HTML file. For that, we have a link tag. With the link tab, we have href. In the href, we have to provide the CSS file name. Then we have to relate that with rel attribute. It used to relate what kind of relation is this. This relation is style sheet. That's all. If you want to provide your custom CSS, you have to give that a last of the head tag. Then only the compiler will read all the predefined CSS and take yours as last, overwrites what you are doing customly. Then go refresh it. Still the style works. This is the way the external CSS use. Most of the time in real-time application we will use external CSS only. Hardly internal, but inline we won't provide any inline CSS in our MVC tutorial. That's all guys, these are all content that you have to know a basic about HTML and CSS. This is fair enough to do an MVC project with HTML and CSS to write .cshtml files. Then we are moving to Bootstrap. Bootstrap is entirely new content when compared to HTML CSS. Bootstrap is a framework. They have already done some CSS in the CSS files and made that as a CDN. By using the CDN we can access those classes. With the classes we can get styles. For this we have to go to https getbootstrap.com. In the Bootstrap we have a latest version of 4.3, but by initial stage to learn about Bootstrap in 4.3 version is not quite good because it has lots of classes, lots of things to know. Instead of it, we are going to version 3.3.7, a stable version of Bootstrap. This is very useful to learn. Those who are new to Bootstrap, you can go and learn with 3.3 version of Bootstrap. To integrate with our application, just getting started tab. In the getting started tab, they have provided all informations. If you come down, they have given a sample template. Just copy this, paste this, all the CDN contents. Just delete all the comments that we don't want. Most probably use CDN. I am using CDN, but when we go to the MVC application I won't use a CDN. I will use CSS Bootstrap files. I am using CDN here. When I delete this, I am just adding the JavaScript and Bootstrap CSS CDN. We don't want this. When you save it and go to the same file, see the Bootstrap integrated. The previously we have seen the hello world, how it looks like. It was a normal HTML text, but it formatted as Bootstrap. The hello world looks something different. Bootstrap has a lot of classes to add. You don't want to mug up, you don't have to remember those classes. Just go to the website, search it, you can get the related class what you're searching for. Then you don't want this metadata content to, we can change this to our title, test tab, language is English as everybody know. Then instead of hello world, I want to implement the form element input type x text, which means text box. Let's see how the text box looks like. See, this is a normal HTML text box. To make that as a Bootstrap content, we have to provide the Bootstrap class. For a h1, they have already implemented a classes for a h1 tag. When you inspect this, you can get a valid class for a HTML element. See, they have provided a font size for HTML element, then margins, font family. When you remove the font families, colors, you can find a change. See how it works. They have created already written some CSS contents for h1 tag, but input type they have written nothing, the normal HTML input tag. To make that Bootstrap, we should provide a class. Class is form control. When you provide form control, see, this is our Bootstrap form control. How it works, how it looks. When focuses, it has a shadow body, but I didn't provide this form control for a full length. How it works, the Bootstrap uses a grid system in sense it will divide our whole body page into the 12 different classes. You have to provide a columns inside the rows to place our elements. For that, you have to go CSS tab. In the CSS tab, you can know about the grid system. See, we have all the grid classes and how it works. Column MD1, MD8, MD6. To know about Bootstrap, just go and check it at website. I want to provide you a sample div class container. This is a container. Inside the container, we have a row. Inside the container, we have a div class. The div class should be row, not an element. Change this as div. Inside the row, it will be in table format. We'll provide td inside the tr in HTML to render table. The same concept that they are using. Column inside rows. Then div class divided into 12 columns. 12 columns. When you give 6, it will become by half. So I want to give column sm6. Inside the column sm6, just put this HTML element. Go change it. How it changed? This is 6, but it won't start from the initial state, from the starting of the page in the left hand side, because I have provided a container. Container will start from by half. Body container. See, from where it starts. If you want to start this from the 0 point in left hand side, just go and change this in container fluid. See how it works. Still we have a gaps, isn't it? That's because of a column. Each and every classes will have a corresponding CSS, predefined CSS that I have Bootstrap implemented. These are all the concepts, guys, that I wanted to cover to you about the basic HTML, CSS, and Bootstrap. If you like this video, please share this video, subscribe this video, like this video, and if you have any queries, any comments about this video, about the way I am teaching, just comment me below. I'll definitely reply you. I'll definitely correct myself to improve our channel better and better. So thank you.